Okay, so welcome everybody, and thanks very much for attending the seasonal update for February 2022. This is a seasonal update that we will do across the region, mid-coast area and the Hunter Valley. It's usually we'd like to do on-farm days, but with the challenges that we've got at the moment with COVID and restrictions, this is going to be another webinar that we're going to be putting out there. So the days are designed to, challenge each other and have some discussions between each other and look at the planning ahead and the seasonal conditions that we're currently dealing with. And it's going to be recorded as well. So keep in mind, please, that this is going to be recorded and sent it out as well. Please feel free to engage, ask questions, and use the comments box that's there as well if you want to ask questions. Jonathan and myself and Neil and Peter will try to keep an eye on that as well and add those questions into the discussion. We want to thank the supporting organisations, the funding organisations. So we've got the Local Land Services, the Australian Government and Landcare, Dairy New South Wales, especially for hosting the event as well, and Jonathan, and Mid-Coast Dairy Advancement Group, Farmers Warehouse, Scibus, and Egg Farming Systems for the support. Today we're going to have three main presenters. There's going to be myself, Josh Hack. I'm an agronomist up here on the Mid-North Coast. We're going to have Dr. Neil Moss from Scibus. He's a Senior Consultant and Director of Scibus. Good morning, Neil.
There we go. Good morning, Josh. Thank you for getting us all together, Pete and team. Look forward to a bit of a chat.
Yeah, beautiful. Looking forward to it. So, and also going to have Peter Smith from Sapphire Irrigation about maximising yield, the yield gap in irrigation and the smarter irrigation from profit project. Yeah, good morning, Peter.
Morning, Josh and everyone. Thanks for having us along.
We're also going to have Peter Beale, Senior Land Service Officer in Agronomy at the Local Land Services, and Johnathon Price from Dairy New South Wales. So good morning to you two as well, and please feel free, everyone, to engage where we can.
Thanks, Josh.
So today we're going to be covering off on four main topics. We're going to be covering, Neil Moss is going to be covering the feeding and milking cows, high nitrogen cost that's out there at the moment and what that looks like in the environment, and supplements and pastures. I'm going to have a discussion on planning for autumn and what's the local conditions like at the moment, and also a bit of a discussion around some legumes in pastures and where they may fit. We're also going to have updates on seasonal input pricing that Kyle Roper, who is an apology for today from Farmers Warehouse, has put together some information for us. So we're going to present that as well, and the availability. And we're also going to have the irrigation updates and results of the last three seasons, scheduling and water efficiency to drive productivity. So today we want to share some of the research, science and experience knowledge. So that takes everyone to engage and we can all learn from each other. I always say that everything I've learned off someone else. So I haven't come up with anything groundbreaking just yet. Share what works and what hasn't worked. Not designed to be a recipe, but more of an option of point of discussion. So not everything's going to suit everybody on their farm or in their paddocks or in their cows, but if we can have a discussion and create discussion and prompt discussion, that's the idea of it. It's not a focus on your big settings and your whole farm system. It's more operational focused and what are the current conditions like, and what are the planning we want to look at short term. None of this is advice, and every farm will need to make their own decisions based on their situations. So without further ado, just wanted to set the scene a little bit right at the start. Look, we're having some really great conditions. Rainfall's well above average. If you look at that, that's 75 percentile for Taree. So 25% years been wetter and 75% of drier. So that's just the last 3 months. But you can see there we've been tracking pretty well, having some good conditions. We've had 150, 200 mils across the area in the last couple of weeks up on the coast here. If we go a bit further south, look, 96% off for Singleton. So obviously, if you look at that most of that come in the flooding period of November and December, and it's carried along nicely all the way through, just continuing some rain. So again, above average rainfall for those areas down there as well. If we have a look at some temperature, so this is just a 30-day average, just to give a bit of an indication where it's tracking and how it's looking. Right now we're well back. We had a little bit of heat there a few weeks ago, but it's sort of tracked down the last couple of weeks. So, and I'd sort of, second that by some of the paddocks I've been looking at. There's a lot of regrowth ryegrass that's germinating and coming up, and the conditions really do feel like it's it's in autumn or even early spring. Like it's a real cooler period and wetter period. But I'm sure the heat will return, and that's the risk that we need to look at, especially with some people looking at planting early and things like that. As you can see there's still plenty of time through this peak period of heat that we can still get some damaging heat to do damage to those new pastures. Very similar down at Singleton. So there you go again, just tracking down, showing that we've had a good couple of weeks of pretty cool below average weather. And cooling things down, but very similar conditions down there.